Greetings, Flameborn. This is the Eerie Night of the Pseudo Posse, and I'm back experimenting with the new blocks from the Hollow Halls update. And I thought I'd share some decorative tips with you all that you can use in your own builds. The Ectoplasm Block has to be one of the best new blocks added in my opinion, but instead of just making a hole in the wall and plopping them inside, we're going to go that extra mile to really make our stained glass windows look regal. The drawback of placing them directly within a flat window frame is once you place in the ectoplasm, you remove the unique texture of the wall block. In this case, the arch-like corners provided by the highly polished stone. I like to have my stained glass windows and the nice texture. First things first, start with a wall in which you want to place some windows and position your ectoplasm blocks along that wall. This is just temporary. The reason we place these temporary blocks within the interior is so we can see how it looks as we carve out the windows from the other side. Proceed to go to the other side now and carve out your windows. At this point, you can be creative as you like, but simply doing a series of aligned geometric shapes is not only incredibly easy, but can create an elegant look. If you are confident in how it'll look without the preview, you can forego placing the temporary ectoplasm. But if you are like me and prone to endlessly tweaking, it's a good idea to have the preview. I initially tried without the ectoplasm on the backside, and upon finishing carving my windows and placing the ectoplasm there, I was not happy with the results. Once you have a design you like, remove the ectoplasm from the inside and begin placing an additional layer in the interior that matches the contours of your windows. Next, place one more layer on top so you have 3 layers total. Reason being, you ultimately want to have the ectoplasm in the middle layer so you can have the stonework protruding from the glass window on either side. This way we can preserve the stone arches on either side of the window Mission accomplished. Ectoplasm isn't purely limited to being used as windows. You can make yourself an interior wall decorative element, or you could also use it as trim around doors, windows, whatever really. Here, I'll place them around my door so you can see the luminescent glow from either side of the door. Speaking of trim, the Hollow Hall block makes for excellent trim in a variety of use cases. The texture has a really nice pattern, making it, in my opinion, one of the best trimming blocks available. You can either place a solid line of Hollow Hall blocks, or you can alternate them, which gives them an extremely cool aesthetic. Either approach can be used depending on personal taste and the build itself, but for this example, I'm going to alternate them. Because of the unique look they have when placed as single columns, they are extremely cool when used as crenellations or Gothic spires as shown here. Another example use case for these blocks are to provide some extra definition for decorative columns. Start yourself off with a flat column. Add whatever little details you want. And top it off with the Hollow Hall blocks to provide a nice aesthetic and sharp contrast. The warm white luminescent block is another great addition to the game and provides alternative sources of lighting. First, I'll demonstrate how to make a super easy chandelier that doesn't take a lot of effort. The materials you need for this example are bronze, iron, red marble, and of course, the warm white luminescent block. Extending from the ceiling will be our bronze blocks. Next, we'll do a layer of iron starting with the square 2-meter ceiling shape. On either side, we'll extend the center blocks outward. And fill in the between part, leaving a gap. Next, we'll add a layer of red marble. From there, we will extend a series of iron columns around the structure, make them longer closer to the interior and shorter lengths closer to the perimeter. Finally, add the warm white luminescent block at the bottom of the columns. Optionally, you can add more of the glowy blocks around the perimeter. The end result is a simple, large chandelier than what the craftspeople can give you. Another potential use case for the warm white luminescent blocks are for chest room lighting. As you can see, I already had some blue luminescent blocks serving that purpose, but now we can add a bit of warm white light to the mix. You don't need to overdo it, just a little bit can go a long way. For some reason, the green luminescent block doesn't seem to be, well, luminescent. As a single block, it doesn't illuminate nearly as well as the others. The luminescence does improve as you place more blocks, but it isn't as bright as the other two variants. I'm okay with it being a bit duller, but I hope they fix the luminescence of a single block, as it doesn't really work unless you place a ton of it. The red marble block is simply stunning. You can use it in many of the same ways as I've already covered for the other blocks such as trim, but here's a couple additional ways you can use it. Instead of making your floor a single block material, consider adding some red marble for a splash of color. If we revisit the stained glass windows from earlier, we can accentuate our stonework by placing a red marble accent wall surrounding all of our stone contours. It really makes it pop, and if you've already used red marble in the build, it can help tie things together. I hope you all took something away from all these tips. If so, please smash the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this type of content in the future. I'd love to hear all the ways you've used these blocks in your builds, so feel free to share and drop a comment telling us all about your ideas. Now, initially I was not intending to make this showcase here into an actual build, but if you'd like me to finish and give you all a tour, I can certainly do that if there's enough interest. Anyways, I'd like to end with a special shout out to our Patreon community whose support has been vital to our continued growth. Thank you to you all. On that note, this is Eerie Knight signing off. See you all in the next one.